standing in Langkawi?
I may, but I haven't decided because a lot of the people in other constituencies keep on asking me to contest in there. They guarantee I would win and all that. So I have not made up my mind. The other thing is, of course, wherever I seem to be choosing to contest, Najib comes along with a lot of gifts. People were given $1,000 each. People were given kitchen cookers and all kinds of things, and given money. So when I say I am going to contest, maybe here, maybe there, he has to give a lot of gifts, and the people are grateful to me. They say, because you come here, then we are getting all this.
What will determine your decision on which constituency to contest?
I cannot afford to lose. So I will have to choose the best constituency where I could win.
Does it feel weird to be, in the opposition?
Yeah, it's very weird. I mean, the very people who used to call me names and all that, and I used to call them names, now they are working with me. And the thing is that they chose me to be their leader. It is a strange kind of acceptance, you see, but I get on well with them.
On a personal level?
On a personal level, as well as I begin to understand some of the grouses, the complaints that they made during my time. I begin to understand the basis of their complaint.
How united is the opposition?
United, they are very, I am quite surprised. They accept me, all of them. They accept me. The leaders especially. Rank and file also mostly accept me. They are members, Chinese, Malays and Indian. It is unthinkable at one time, but I think they are quite sincere because we have the same goal, get rid of Najib.
Where do you think the biggest battlegrounds will be?
Johor. Because Johor is an UMNO stronghold, and people that traditionally support only this one party. But to break into Johor is very difficult. Even when he accepted me, the daughter did not. She wrote a very nasty article against me. But it was explained to him that unless we work together, he will not be, he will not win the election. And whatever difference we have is the past. We have to learn to forget it. Although off and on it crops up, but generally he has accepted. It was very difficult for him first to accept me as the chairman of the opposition. And then when my name was also put up for Prime Minister, it took a long time for him to decide. But eventually he realized, and people told him, there's no way you can put anybody else and win over Malay support. So eventually he realized it's a pragmatic thing to do, but to accept me. And I, of course, I am not concerned about my quarrels with him anymore. In fact, he's in jail now not because of me. He was put there by Najib. So I don't care about the past, about what he did and all that. To me, is nothing compared to what Najib is doing. Well, you see, I studied in Singapore. So in a way, I knew Singapore as well. You are big city people. Big city people behave differently from kampong people. In the kampong, we know each other. We go to each other's house. We invite friends and all that. But while I was studying in Singapore, I never received any invitation to any house at all. You see, I was very friendly with, the group of 47 until now, who are very close to each other. And yet, uh, when we were in the university, there is a sort of distance between Singapore students and Malaysian students. Once I took a taxi to go to the girls' hostel. The taxi straight away drove me to the kitchen area, because I was a Malay, so I must be. So some things hurt me, you see, but that doesn't mean that I hold any grudge against Singapore. But I have to maintain Malaysia's position. You see, because Singapore has done extremely well. And I believe that we can do just as well. We have the same kind of people.
But how would you describe your view towards Singapore now? Has it mellowed? Or?
Well, it has, in a way, it has mellowed. But of course, I had always hoped that Malaysia would be able to catch up with Singapore. And because of Najib, that hope is now forgone. We were growing very fast. You can see Kuala Lumpur. It's not Kuala Lumpur 1981. Today it is a big city. Greater Kuala Lumpur now has a population of 7 million people. So the capacity to grow is very, very big. So we see Singapore as a competitor as well as a model. As a model, you see, and we can do, I coined the slogan, Malaysia Boleh. We can. So I convince people that we can be like Singapore.
What do you think of the high-speed rail that's coming?
High-speed rail, I think it's a little bit premature. What we need is the present rail to be improved. If we can do 180 kilos per hour, that's good enough. Because the distance is very short. It's not like China, or Japan even. There you take 3 hours despite high-speed train. But here, Singapore to Kuala Lumpur, well, it's almost about half an hour. So it's a good thing to come later on. But I think at this moment, I would rather straighten the lines, increase the speed, and that should be sufficient for us.
Can I ask again about how young you look? Because I would like to know the secret.
Lots of people ask me. I tell them one of the most important things is never overeat. Once you are fat, to become thin again is very difficult. And this is the advice from my mother. My mother told me that when the food is nice, stop. Very difficult to discipline yourself. But when I studied medicine, I realized how good the advice is, because when you overeat, the stomach expands. And if you do that too often, it becomes very big. And if you don't eat enough, you feel hungry. So you eat a lot, and then it keeps on growing like that. It's your stomach, you see. If you eat just because you enjoy the food, some people enjoy the food. But I'm very disciplined in many ways. So I respect my mother's advice, and I even tell people that don't eat, don't overeat. Always remember that when you feel the food is too good, please try and stop yourself. It is very difficult, but after sometimes it's easy. After sometimes you learn to curb your feelings and things like that.
But I mean, like your hair and your complexion and all. I mean,
that I don't.
It's your genes, is it?
Except I live a healthy life. I don't overstrain. I feel that I don't worry very much, but apparently That is what I feel, but the heart doesn't understand me. So I had to have two bypasses. You see, so but anyway, the most important thing is to be very disciplined in life.
Have you had like stem cell treatments or?
No injections of any kind, no stem cells.
Right. You have heard that rumor. You have heard that rumor.
Oh yeah.
Gold placenta, all sorts of
No, nothing.
But it's not just physical, it's also mentally young.
Yeah, but you know, when I was young, I read a lot of books. My values are influenced by the books I read about the British and all that, about bravery, about heroism, about being right and proper, about being disciplined. All these things work on me. I advise young people, please read. You see, but nowadays people don't read that much. But you will learn a lot of things. You see, and I observe things. I see things. Other people travel and don't see. I see everything. I get my money's worth when I travel.
What about your wife? Does she give you a lot of, political advice?
No political advice. She's very supportive. She attends all my rallies, and I told people that you have to be tolerant. We quarrel quite a lot in the early days, but I find that she is like herself, I'm like myself, and we, of course, there are things which we are not happy about each other, but you have to put up with it. I don't succumb to emotion much. I think, I evaluate things, and I thought in the end I had to put up with the things that she does, as much as she has to accept my way of doing things.
Thank you very much for having lunch.
Welcome. Thank you.